Hey everyone, and welcome to a slightly new format. Kind of got a podcast-esque style to this now, and I actually have a guest. So today joining me is a friend of mine. His name's Jabril. Met him through a mutual friend. Started playing D&D together, and ended up both liking whiskey, and so I brought him along to enjoy this fun little journey today. So, Jabril, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. What's up, pals, gals, thems, theys, zays? How's it going?
So something special today. It's not just a regular random one. I actually got a hold of a little treat. It's Glenfiddich 20, or as you can see from the picture, Glenfiddich Project XX. They had a bunch of projects they kind of did. This is their second one. The first one was an IPA, and they had like a winter one and a couple others. This one really kind of stood out to me looking through those. What was actually really interesting about it was the fact that I actually found one.
I gotta say, yeah, the design of this is just really great. I'm really liking the thumbprint here and everything, and like the Project XX.
Yeah, it's a pretty one too. It looks really cool. So our main thing is we're going to be testing this one right here, and we have a couple others for comparison, kind of compare and contrast, kind of get some ideas and everything. But yeah, this was kind of this particular one's kind of got some secrecy behind it. There's a lot of little things, little details and stuff. For instance, I guess there was 20 master distillers from other companies or just in general. And what they did is they brought in each one of these people and they walked around one of the warehouses, I believe, or maybe just the entire premises where they keep all their casks at. And they all chose their favorite cask, and I guess they all went into this blend. It's 20 different barrels, and I don't know how much of what was used for each one. Obviously, I don't think they went equal parts on everything, because one person says, oh, this particular expression has a really, it's got really nice ripe pear and everything, and someone else is like, oh, this one's really, kind of the opposite end. You're getting darker fruits and stuff like that. Mixing them together, you might lose both of them somewhere along in translation.
Alcohol is very finicky when it comes to that, especially when you're tasting. The more you taste, the flavors shift inside of your mouth because your taste buds are remembering what you've already drank and whatnot.
Yeah, it's so this one's pretty interesting, and unlike normal Glenfiddich, it's sitting above the typical 40% to 80 proof. This is actually sitting at 47% ABV, so we're talking 94 proof. That's much higher than most of the other Glenfiddichs. So hopefully, with that being said, we're going to find a little more flavor on it. Glenfiddich's known to be very mild, very approachable Scotch. It's a Speyside. It's honestly, it's delicious. It's very approachable. It's just a great Scotch, just in general, as a sipper. No ice needed, nothing needed in general.
Definitely so far my favorite kind, I gotta say.
Yeah. So, but this is not the only thing we have today. Like I said, we have two others. So we have this current Glenfiddich, and we actually have this right here, Glenfiddich 12. This is going to be our basic Glenfiddich to kind of do a compare and contrast. And then we also have one more that's kind of actually one of Jabril's favorites.
A true personal favorite.
It's not an actual Scotch. It's a Japanese whiskey, but Japanese whiskey tends to be based on Scotch. This is Hibiki Hibiki Japanese Harmony, which is a blended Japanese whiskey, and it's got one of the prettiest bottles that I own. I mean, honestly, look at the craftsmanship of this thing.
It's beautiful.
It seriously is something to behold. Probably by the time I empty this will become an infinity bottle. It's just beautiful enough to continue to appreciate for time.
It's schmexy.
That it certainly is. So today we're gonna probably start with, I would say, probably the Glenfiddich 12. just to have the initial tasting notes and kind of idea of what's going on. Glenfiddich actually stands for Valley of the Deers, I guess in Irish Gaelic, hence the stag that's on the front. They've been around since 1886, so they've been doing this a while. They know their stuff, and honestly, it shows. So we're going to start probably with the Glenfiddich 12. It's out a little tin. Got our little Glencairn glasses, little mini ones, sniffers, so we can try to enjoy it. The bottle, clearly I drank some. It is pretty solid.
That's a word for it.
Nice little cork too. Nice little sound. Love that sound. Get a little pour, and we'll get a little viewing of the color. It's a little more than intended, so going to be a little nice and not sure. Yes.
Sherry.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Try not to be redundant.
My whiskey.
You know?
Mine. Not yours.
Not just to say say what everyone says in a YouTube show.
Right. That classic, beautiful Glenfiddich 12 Scotch down. Just appreciate the bottle as we take a look at it. It is very light in color compared to some whiskeys. Feel free to grab it. Give it a little spin to make sure it gets a little air to it. I may have poured a small bit more than needed in these glasses. But, they are smaller Glencairns, so it's probably only... Yeah, probably still too much. But it's going to be delicious. So let's go in for a quick sniff, sneeze, words.
Rappity sappity?
Yeah, something along those lines. Yeah. Right away, I kind of get that. I get a malt. I get a. It's slightly sweet.
It's got this it's sweet. It's kind of cool to a certain extent to the nose. I don't know if that's supposed to be
it's light and fresh.
Yeah,
I get what you mean. So it's kind of like you get kind of a winter breeze almost in a sense.
Exactly. It's just it seems like something that you're sipping and everything outside is white. Not to get racial, but
yeah. No. The thing is though that it's in that sense it's also not too bright that it's a mintiness. There's no mintiness.
There's no mint to this. Yeah.
No, but it's just very light. When I see a lot of things talk about Glenfiddich, they tend to mention pear, hence the reason I said pear earlier.
I can see that. Yeah.
I do smell that personally. Pear or nice crisp apple, or not quite a sour one like a Granny Smith, but it's. I hate to say what type of apple in particular. Mm-hmm. It's not a honey crisp. It's not an overly sweetened one, but maybe more like a Red Delicious.
Right.
They tend to be very mild apples.
Exactly.
My least favorite apple.
You don't want too much of an overpowering anything when it comes to your alcohol. That. Unless you're after something very specific.
Yeah. Certain bourbons, especially ones in Texas, tend to be very heavy on the flavor. Personally, I really enjoy them, but everything's subjective, just like this. So,
me, I like my mixed drinks as much as the next gal,
Yeah, but
how many of those old fashions did you make for me that one night?
It seemed like too many, but honestly, I think it was about 3. They were delicious.
They were delicious. Absolutely delicious.
I think I can't remember the last one I finished with. Which one did I give you? Did I do an old fashioned Hibiki?
I want to say it was the Hibiki because I was really enjoying the Hibiki.
Yeah, because old fashions typically are made with bourbons or American whiskeys, not scotches. Mm-hmm. Actually, I'm doing an episode on my favorite cocktail mix thing. They're specific for old fashions. It's the one that I actually gave you. Mm-hmm. I love it. I ordered a new one, and I ordered a smoky agave version of it, which is really good with tequila. Oh my god! It is delicious. You get a hint of smoke on the. It's fantastic, but I digress. Back to the Glenfiddich.
Alcoholics right now.
Well, I mean, we are talking. But, yeah. Let's go in for a taste. Let's see how this goes.
All right. Okay, this is gonna sound odd. I'm kind of getting and this may sound like pure nonsense, but my first thought went to olive.
Olive.
I don't know why. That's where my first thought process went.
Well, that's definitely where you went. Because I went immediately, I hooked on kind of a buttery. I mean, the apple and pear definitely show up on the taste, but immediately I kind of got like almost a hint of smoky oak with almost like a Ritz cracker. It's like taking a thin slice of pear and a thin slice of apple, putting them on a Ritz cracker, putting it next to a fire. Don't get me wrong, this is definitely not peated, so it's not supposed to be really smoky, but I got a hint of smoke on the back end that was kind of it was delightful but unexpected.
I will say that this is really, really smooth. It goes down really, really nice.
I mean, the 80 ABV is definitely going to be in part of the reason for that. Going back for a second sniff, because obviously I didn't drink the whole. I'm going back to it, I'm getting a lot more butter, a lot more of the butter, and I'm getting a hint of oak now that I wasn't getting the first time I was smelling it.
I don't know why my mind went there. That's just where it went.
Yeah, if that's where it went, that's where it went.
That's where it went. Hey, I'm not going to apologize for where it went.
No, I certainly would.
But it went there.
But you getting anything on the second sniff?
We'll see.
Anything?
I'm not quite sure how to describe it now.
It's a little sweeter now too.
Yeah.
At least like a confectioner sugar is what I'm getting, kind of like a very light white sugar, not necessarily a granulated or anything. Second taste.
Different now.
Good, you're not getting olive?
Yeah, apparently the olive was left me.
I never quite got that sour, bitter olive type thing. I'm not a huge fan of olives, though, so I don't have a whole lot of history with them, and most of them tend to be negative.
Right.
So, I mean, in reality, I could see more of an olive oil type thing.
Which kind of, yeah, that's kind of where I think where I was probably going. Ironically, I like olives, never had a martini.
Fair enough. The only drink that I can personally think of that contains an olive.
Right.
But no, that was. I mean, it's good. It's good. I enjoy it. Definitely enjoy it.
Yeah. It's nice for sipping for sure.
Yeah.
And it's subtle, and that feeling in the back of the throat is like really. It's warm, and there's nothing too difficult about it.
Yeah, it's very inviting. It really is.
Exactly.
Best time for that one, honestly, I would say like a spring, summer, fall. Not really a winter one, just because it's so bright and refreshing that you kind of want something that kind of clings a little more vibrancy to it. A little more deepness to it in a sense. I want something that's a little darker fruits, or something that kind of maybe a higher proof, something that kind of hugs you a little, gives you a nice warm hug in the middle of winter.
Right. I think the other thing about it is that when it comes to drinks, you have to really consider like what it is you're after in a particular moment. You know, it's like, to me, that felt a little bit more wintry, because like during the winter time, I kind of get a little bit, I'm a little bit more down than usual, a little bit more sadder, because like it's like the winter time,
I can see where you're going.
Like the sun, like sun's not out as much.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and just I want to feel a little bit more happier, so that refreshing taste would be like a welcomed, feeling.
Yeah, especially like a hard day's work and you're tired coming home and
home,
you just
all
want
the shit.
you just want something to sip on and it brighten up the. I mean, fully understand that. That's everything's subjective. It's a beautiful thing.
Exactly. You know, like, and I've said this before. I say again, whoever told anyone that hell is fire and brimstone is a liar.
Well, that's going to be an edit.
But that's a beat right there.
The funny part is there's I mentioned Texas a moment ago. There's a distillery down in Texas called Belcona.
Mm-hmm.
They have a whiskey called Brimstone, and I'm not kidding. It is fire. It's so good. It's honestly fantastic. I was shocked by it. I wasn't expecting a lot, but yeah, I'm definitely going to say this Glenfiddich with the higher proof. We're going to see how this one goes. I'm excited about this one.
My recommendation: you should put a funny word over that. What I just said.
Yeah, we'll do something with it.
I.e.,
thank you, editing.
Look at Craig Ferguson.
Yeah. Thank you, editor. Me. Keeping me somewhat afloat. So obviously we're gonna go to the beautiful. Look at this beautiful bottle too.
This bottle is fantastic.
In every regard, it's truly beautiful.
Loving the like the black on bronze.
Yeah.
They use a little
You
bit.
you can see the light through that too, and it is super. It stands out as bronze itself.
Right.
You got a little embossing, established 1887. I thought they were 86. Could have swore their website said 86. Somebody's lying to me. Maybe I'm just lying to myself. Yeah, in the back, let's read it real quick. Glenfiddich, 20 Minds, one unexpected whiskey, warm summer fruits aroma, sweet candy floss, and licorice notes. Experiment with a dab of salt to heighten the taste. The product is non-chill filtered in extreme cold temperatures, or an addition of losing my place. Water may help develop a slight haze. Yeah, careful on the water. Typically, you want to be 46% or higher before you add water. If you add water yourself, you're going to get kind of a cloudy whiskey, and then there's government warning and whatnot. Yeah, I actually haven't even opened this bottle before, so this is the first time I'm opening it. Sometimes you need stuff to breathe. This one's not going to get the opportunity.
Somebody's screaming into their computer right now.
Yeah, probably. Or phone, or TV, or laptop, or I can't open this to save my life. I need a knife? Pen? Batman, save me? Aha! Pen cap saved me. Got underneath. Alright! Resourceful. Hopefully this is delicious.
So they pay you the big bucks for it.
Yeah, all of $0. I don't even pay myself.
That
cap
cap is great.
That's pretty. That is
a great cap.
Now let's hope the bottle and the cap don't let down, and we get a nice little sound out of this.
Oh.
Okay, I'm happy. I'm good with that one. I preferred a little squeak like the last one did, but that pop was pretty decent. So, sure. I should have dried this better. Let that breathe for half a second while I try to dry my glass and get all the water out, because there's way too much water in my glasses. I was more focused on the bottle itself versus my inevitable failings. And voila, my glass is dry. Let's give you the first pour.
How generous of you.
Yeah, wait till you see how much I give you. You may have been a little early on that. No, I gave a decent pour again. Again, small Glenfiddichs. Our hands are not that giant. Color, it's still fairly light, but it is darker. It is darker than the last one. Not by a mountain, but just enough.
That is significantly lighter.
Lighter.
Oh
yeah. No, to me, yeah. It might need time to open up. So definitely give it a little swirl. Swirly swirl.
Swirl.
See the color on it? It's a hint darker, but not a whole lot.
It smells starting to come through a little bit more now.
Yeah. Poured too much, not enough space to swirl. Your swirling technique needs more swirling technique. I mean, look at that. Swirly swirl. Come on.
Oh. Look at Mr. Swirls over here.
Oh man, I'm getting a lot more butter on this one.
Yeah.
It's slowly getting deeper. That initial, there's still no ethanol burn. Not getting any ethanol burn, which is, we didn't get that from the prior one either.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's good. I mean, it is higher proof this time. Honestly, I'm getting mostly more of the same, but
no, it's a little bit more. It's a little bit more buttery.
Yeah, I do get more butter. But that's about it. It's kind of reminding me. Honestly, the nose is reminding me a lot of like what's it called? Irish 12-year with the bird. Shiza. Redbreast 12. Redbreast 12. Redbreast 12. Get a bit of oakiness, butter, pear.
Flavor's a lot stronger.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's waking up.
Yeah.
It's a little deeper. Pear may have turned into like a plum almost. It's a little bit deep sugar. There's a deeper, like a darker sugar. I don't know how to describe it, but again, ladies and gents, I'm new to this for the most part, so this is a journey. You're going on a journey. So
that's no excuse.
I suck. There, you happy? No, everything's always subjective. A lot of, especially with the nose, it's a lot of things. Your memories tend to cause most of the direction for the nosing. The taste is a little more clinical, a little more. Yeah.
Everybody's different. You know, like everybody's experiences lead them to different conclusions. Yeah. Some people taste, butter and sweetness. Others taste olive, and there's nothing wrong with that.
If you can see this in the camera, if it focus, there's a small bit of cling to the glass. There's a little bit of oil. It's kind of light still. I'm ready for a tasting. This thing is smelling better and better by the moment, to be honest. I'm afraid to go in and then not experience the true, everything that it's got. Why have I taken the bottle off the table?
I was thinking the same thing.
What have I done?
It's a failure on your part. We can superimpose it in post.
My life is my failure, but I'm ready. You ready?
Yeah.
Let's enjoy this. Hopefully. A lot drier up front,
right? Not quite as refreshing.
Yeah, it's a lot deeper flavors.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely get a lot more oak on this one.
Yeah.
In a good, honestly, it's a good way. I like the flavor of oak though. That's why I tend to like a lot of bourbons, new oak, char. That's good though. That is good. For me personally, this is the winter one. This is what I drink in the winter. Usually that warm.
That gives you that warm hug. Yeah. Like it's a lot warmer on the throat.
Definitely is. That 7% is pulling a little bit more weight on this one. Definitely is. I mean, I get more like a ripe pear. I wouldn't say it's quite plum on the palate, but it's definitely. Oh, that's good though. And smelling the glass, it got a lot sweeter. It's like a sugary butter now. Maybe that's just as the overly ripe, like a Bosc pear.
Yeah, it got.
Have you ever had
deeper there?
Like, how many pears have you had?
Let
Let me rephrase that. How many pear species have you had?
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna go ahead and on lemon say I've only really had one.
Oh yeah,
the standard pear.
So
what everybody draws.
Yeah, the green one.
Yeah.
So there's a pear called a Bosc. It tends to look like it's well overly ripened.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like this tan outside. I much prefer that pear over the standard Anjou pear, I think it's called. I think that's what it's called. Anyway, regardless, the Bosc pear is a lot sweeter, a lot more dense flavor. It's a little grainy, in my opinion. So the texture's a little grain. It's weirdly grainy almost, but I think it has a far better flavor profile. So, and that's what it's reminding me of.
I have to actually say two things. I've never been asked how many species of fruit I've had before. That's an
So, I worked 4 years at a grocery store, and the last 3 years of it I spent in produce or helping assist produce. I was a produce manager or assistant manager at one point. Not the assistant to the manager, but an assistant manager.
And then But the second thing is that I now you got me thinking. I haven't had a pear in a really long time. It's been years.
They're overshadowed by apples a lot. They tend to apples can not go bad. Words. Their shelf life is a lot stronger. Apples, they can actually like chill down and they'll last a very long time.
Yeah, pears are very.
Yeah, they're a lot more sensitive.
Yeah.
You say bad words, they ripen too fast.
Yeah.
I'm going back for a second tasting.
Uh-oh.
It's good. It's good.
Drop.
Yeah, no, it's good. Personally, this is again, as everything's subjective. I actually prefer this a slight bit over the regular one, but I have been accustomed to some of the higher proofs lately, which is probably the reason I like it more.
I think.
Yes, you like your olives. Okay, we get it.
Well, tell me this: how many species of olive have you had before?
Green and black. That is my entire olive knowledge. But we didn't sell those fresh, and I don't think they really ever do. They're always canned, at least around here. Canned. I've had olive oil.
There's so many forms of olive oil. It is insane.
Yeah, I got one recently that was infused with, I think, rosemary and garlic. Oh my god, it was so good on a steak.
I've never. See, that's the thing.
Delicious.
It wasn't until recently that that idea was introduced to me. The idea of just putting olive oil on stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a topping.
You got it. You live in a closet. Sorry, under a rock. That's a better metaphor here. But yeah, no,
it's rock here to be braided. Is that what this is?
Welcome.
I can't talk about olives.
Hey. Words.
Yeah, that
washing out the glasses, trying to.
That was the main thing that I was getting off of that was just how warm it was. That was the thing that was like sticking out the most to me.
It's probably due to the fact that you had the other one, but the flavors were relatively similar.
Mm-hmm.
Nice motorcycle guy.
Just looking at your direction, it'll be quiet.
Yeah, but the thing is it's a concentrated more of the same, with a lot more of a hug. For me, perfect in the wintertime. For you, you need that nice bright thing. Definitely Glenfiddich 12. If that's your thing, heck yeah, completely recommend them, as probably anyone who's ever tried them is going to do, because they are extremely approachable, delicious, and
nice entry as well into the world of
especially Scotch
alcohol. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. If you're jumping into let's say Islays, which are incredibly, the peated ones, those are incredibly like dense, and they smack you in the face, and not a great entry unless that is just your thing.
The people that kind of just like I don't quite understand, and not to knock anybody's favorite is when I see anyone who brings Fireball whiskey to anything.
Yeah, me personally, I just not interested.
Yeah,
just not my thing. But yeah, I agree with you. No, don't get us wrong. As he said, if you like it, you like it. End of story. What makes you happy makes you happy. That's, the important part of life. And all of our stuff is subjective and opinions. And so if you like something we're knocking down, just feel free to let us know and tell us why you like it. Like, there's nothing wrong with liking something. So just express yourself. Let us know why. Why is the important part? Is it a memory? Is it a particular flavor? Do you just like the kick in the teeth that comes with cinnamon? Hey, I like Big Red Gum, just not a fan of the Fireball whiskey. Not my thing.
I know people say why. A lot of people just kind of just like, hey, it's great, and that's all you need.
But of course, everybody has the reasons why they like stuff. So give a reason. Let's hear it. Defend your dram. Okay? Defend it.
Fireball whiskey is your lady love defender.
I'm sorry, I don't like her. No.
Good luck with your marriage.
Hey, that's you. You be happy. You do you. So yeah, next we got our beautiful Hibiki.
Great bottle. Just everything about this is just so well made.
Yeah. So we just came from 94 proof. We're coming down to 86 proof.
86, I believe.
Yeah. You can see on the bottle if it focuses, 43%, 86 proof. So it's stronger than the Glenfiddich by a small margin, but not like, it's not going to kill you.
I don't know if this is like a thing or not. I find it hilarious though that like my first foray into whiskey and it's Japanese. I wonder if there are any Irishmen who are pissed at me right now, who are rolling over inside of the beds. Like that's a disturbance in force.
Yeah. Never realized there was a small little gasket underneath though. I don't know. Maybe that's not a gasket. Maybe I'm just crazy. But all right, let's give this one. Okay, the squeak and the pop, it was all there, and it's a natural, like, ground up cork. Interesting. I like the marbleization on that. Anyway.
Oh, let's do a more in-depth look at.
And this is mine. Me first. And then give you a wonderful pour of about that much. Okay, I'm not gonna be a jack. Give you a legitimate chance to enjoy it. Seriously,
now
pouring immediately stands out apple. Like immediate pouring that just.
And what's the typical retail on a bottle like this?
I mean, everything is dependent on where you are and the availability. But this is, I believe, somewhere in the range of around $90. It's not exactly cheap. The Glenfiddich Project 20 was sitting around $100, and the regular Glenfiddich, I believe, is somewhere around $40, $50. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, no, it's this is the second most expensive out of the bunch, but I think this might end up being my favorite. Don't tell Glenfiddich. But seriously, Glenfiddich is honestly, without a doubt, 100% recommended. If you find the Project 20 and you like the original, again, extremely recommended, especially if you're used to higher proofs and prefer higher proofs. That is going to be your best friend. So yeah, let's go for this one. Give it a small little. God, I smell apples.
Yeah, I'm liking the smell on this one. The coloration
caramel.
It's very light.
The color's closer to the original Glenfiddich 12.
And that.
Oh wow, yeah. From just spinning it a little bit, you can see the oil is a lot stronger on this. When whiskeys tend to have higher oil content, tend to hold on to their flavors a lot more. Oil is much better at transferring a lot of the flavors in the compounds versus water. So when a whiskey is lower proof, that's why it tends to be less flavorful. When you have higher proof, there tends to be more oil in it than versus the water, which allows a lot more transference of the flavors. So
I'm detecting a kind of sweetness inside of this in terms of smell. It
feels like
it's like a rustic type of sweet to me. If
Okay.
that makes any sense. Like it's like, how do I put this?
It smells like an apple tart to me.
Yeah, no, like definitely, like it doesn't feel like candy sweet or anything like that.
No.
It's much. It's something
Real.
It's a real sweetness that you
Yeah.
get from from apple. Maybe that's what.
And so my thing is kind of like an apple tart.
Mhm.
You have kind of a pastry base with a lot of apple. That's kind of like, is apple tart like open face with the? I think it is.
Mhm.
I might be crazy.
Yeah.
The apple is standing atop of it. It's sweet. It's bright. And then you get a kind of a buttery pastry underneath that's kind of holding it together.
It looks tooth-achingly delicious, but the tart itself is probably not going to be all that. It's not going to be like just smack you in the face.
Yeah, it's not going to be.
It's got good hints.
Yeah,
It's for people with a palate that likes salty more than anything else.
fair enough. Actually, as you said salt, I got a hint salt, but not really.
I said salty, but salt is there, yes.
Well, that's what I'm saying. My brain interpreted it in a weird way, and then just is like, hey, it might be that. No, wait.
Maybe
Temper yourself. Hold on.
Maybe you're smelling the olive oil.
Yeah, we're gonna go with no. No. Okay. That's really nice though. It's so. I'm trying to see if there's anything else because my brain's a little slow when it comes to sense and trying to remember things. Probably gonna pick it up more on the palate. There's something else there that I can't quite like.
Maybe I should shift the way I try to think, because I try to think of something like apple or something like that. Maybe I should think more in terms of situational or where I imagine to smell something like this.
Similar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time I drink Connemara, that's what I get because I always get a beachside campfire every time I have Connemara, and it's wonderful. But this,
I'm getting
apple orchard. That's all I'm getting.
I'm getting
it's more like a cider.
Maybe I'm getting this
Cider than just an apple itself.
The image that's forming inside my head is under a tree, its leaves are really colorful.
So we're talking a fall.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I think apple may be the right word for it. I think apple works for it.
We haven't been clinging to that this entire time, but I mean, if that's what we're smelling, that's what we're smelling.
That's what we're smelling.
Glenfiddich was more of a pear. This is more of an apple, without a shadow of a doubt in my mind. But I'm getting more of that tartness might just be from cider. Well, either way, I am very intrigued and I desperately want to try this, so I'm going for it. That's beautiful.
Right. Smell silent judgment. That is a nice. That's nice. That is nice. It is.
I'm trying to figure out another way to describe it other than just. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Harmony is a literal, perfect description for that. There is so much at play in this flavor, but my weak palate is having a hard time pinpointing all the flavors, but I can tell there's a lot of complexity. but they're all in harmony. Nothing is overly powering.
No.
And it's all like they're strong, but not overpowering. And it's just...
And the warmness, it doesn't stick to the back of the throat. It disseminates downward.
Yeah. And the warmness is still very light. It's lighter than the Glenfiddich 20.
Mm-hmm.
All I'm left is just apple wood. Apple wood is what I describe it. Smoked with apple wood before for barbecue, and that's what it's reminding me of. Just sweetness.
That sweetness is still there in that smell. It's not. It's just. It's so. The smell itself is what is inviting for this.
Yeah, I mean, we came in looking for the Glenfiddich 20 to be the star of the show, of course, but I mean, Suntory Whiskey's nailing it out of the park with this one, and this is one of their, better expressions, I believe. I think they have one that's like this, but a little higher age, which honestly, if you get more age on this, all you're going to get is probably a little more wood and a little deeper flavors, which, to be honest, I would love to try as long as it's continuing to be harmonious. But, yeah. I hit the camera like a jackwagon. But yeah, no, it's
episode 5.
yeah, except for it's still episode. Yeah, it was 5. Yeah, I swear I haven't had that much.
Yeah,
some stuff I've had. I'm not even. But the point is that this is surprisingly. Well, I mean, I guess I really shouldn't be surprised. Really is something special.
Yeah, this is great. This is, oh man, that's awesome. This is something. This is something that you definitely you keep on the table. You know what I mean? It's not something that you go for all the time, but
no, this is more of a special occasion.
It's a special occasion one, yeah.
Yep. If you have whiskeys, this is definitely one of those that you keep around.
I would say that it's worth the price because of that fact.
Yeah.
It's something that's gonna stick. It's gonna stick around for a while, and it's gonna be there.
Mm-hmm. Wholeheartedly agree. Man, the bottle is pretty, and the smell is amazing, and the palate is even better.
This
honestly.
label is really cool too. I'm liking this label, like the way it's
the texture to it,
the texture, the color, all of it. Yeah,
kind of reminds me of like really old paper or something like that, or something. Parchment. Yeah, really pressed fibers and everything. It's pretty. It really is nice, but. Staying away from ASMR as I'm scratching the label. Honestly, it's been some like lay off it. Yeah.
No, that's a showstopper.
Yeah, honestly. But thank you for joining us. Honestly, it's been fun to have this little journey and try out some of these things, compare and contrast them. Beautiful bottle that is the Harmony. And you guys take care of yourselves. And yeah, I don't know how to end this.
Where do they reach you, Tom? Where can they find you? Where are your socials?
Here.
Oh.
yeah. I'm working on that. It'll probably be in the description once I kind of settle on some stuff. But I'm just getting started still. And again, thanks for joining us. Do you have any socials?
I'm not ready for that yet.
So we're both just gonna say good luck.
Hey, I hope that maybe I'll be back.
Absolutely. We'll have to try something a little different next time. Yeah. We'll kind of enjoy something interesting.
No, I mean, you know me. I'll definitely love to be there for the mixed drinks.
That
would be fantastic.
That sounds like a plan.
This is really fun. So yeah, pals, gals, them, theys.
Yeah.
Nice talking to you.
Yeah. Drink up, enjoy, stay safe.